3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. Welcome to Universal Peace Television. So, hi all. I'm checking if the broadcast is live. It's live now. And my CPU is at 100%. This is the broadcast about Alex Jones. Switch to display capture reels. I just woke up, I'm out of bed, and I saw this article online, and I thought it would be nice to read that, so then why not make a broadcast about it? It may be interesting. Julian, Assange, Edward Snowden, Alex Jones, and David Icke are all fake. I added Shills, controlled opposition. Controlled opposition is covered more. With things that prove they are controlled opposition. And it seems to be more like they're Jesuit controlled and that they are controlled by the Zionists, because only the Jesuits have the power to make the planes stand down and are in control of the alphabet agencies like the Mossad, NSA, MI5, 6, etc. So let's first read this article. Let's see if this works. Okay, so here we go. I may turn on the mic again if it's blocked or whatever.
Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Alex Jones and David Carroll fake, down with fake truth and fake truth fighters. Julian Assange is himself an intelligence black op asset. He is a victim of the Mijdrecht inside the Anglo-Saxon elites. And he was enrolled as a hacker by MI6, whose Zionist handlers are the authors of Anonymous as well, even on equals no name in 2009. Assange is an example of the fighting of British Zionists who sided with American Zionists, so-called truth fighter Steve Mijdrecht, pseudo-Jew of Khazarian legacy and of Russian blood, and his pal Alex Jones, NSA black op asset, who was married to Mrs. Nichols, a Zionist CIA asset. https://alexjonesexposed.info. They united in their fight against Soros and co. of the transnational Zionists, who give a damn about Britain and United States. That's all. The Khazar Steve Mijdrecht, a pseudo-Jew, as well as Queen Elizabeth, pseudo-heir of King David's bloodline, a lie, simply finally realize that they will be eaten by the Zionist transnational mafia. No, not Illuminati, but a mundane organized crime syndicate octopus. Edward Snowden is the same. The Zionist black op asset from NSA, NASA, controlled opposition and fake whistleblower who is blowing the Zionist fake alien out of his ass of a mind slave, the worst kind of slave ever, hustling for the fake alien invasion of tall Nordic aliens, planned as a Las Vegas holographic show with the use of V2K. Since the times of Howard Hughes, Las Vegas is a major CIA joint for the opium money laundering, the sale of drugs, controlled by CIA worldwide, and testing all kinds of psychotronic weapons. Las Vegas is linked via tunnels with secret underground military bases that are not American, but located on the U.S. territory, while belonging to the Octopus Global Organized Crime Syndicate, codename Illuminati. The major tunnel goes from Batista Casino building with no windows to Area 51. We judge that this CIA joint is very active by the fact that it is off Google information grid completely. Howard Hughes bought casinos from Mafia, and then, resold them back to Mafia cheap, but stuffed with CIA for opium money laundering, the sale of drugs by CIA itself, and testing psychotronics en masse. CIA black science is financed by CIA drug worldwide sales, and small operations for CIA black science R&D are located in Vegas. Vegas is the symbol of fraudulence and forgery of the American state after Zionist coup d'état of 1963, when the last truly American president JFK was killed by CIA, totally infiltrated by Mossad, the strip show of non-existent democracy and non-existent freedom. On the way to the global cyber concentration camp of trashed United States worldwide, codename Zion, but alas, Donald Trump's election is the attempt of the U.S. middlemen to resist a complete Zionist takeover of the country, though in the form of total humiliation of Trump, something so humiliating that it was unthought of before, with his paws up, whining on his belly in puke that he will put Israel's interest above and beyond U.S. interests. The incident took a form of psychotronic war, when Hillary Clinton was bombarded by psychotronic weapons 24/7, that is why she was behaving like a pig under the remote electrical shock attack. All of the symptoms of the incident took a form of psychotronic war, when Hillary Clinton was bombarded by psychotronic weapons 24/7, that is why she was behaving like a pig under the remote electrical shock attack. All of the symptoms of Hillary's going mad publicly are the most characteristic symptoms of psychotronic attack. Steve Mijdrecht, pseudo-Jew of Khazarian legacy and of Russian blood, is a bright example of how Khazars themselves go on rioting against their Zionist shepherds, and side with anti-Zionist struggle. Yes, Steve Mijdrecht, you are completely right. Khazar Zionists give a damn about you, a pseudo-Jew of Khazarian legacy and Russian blood. You will die along with Goyim if Khazarian Zionists will gain global domination.
The government is criminal, okay? Thank you, darling.
/irenuszer.wordpress.com Thought on Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Alex Jones and David Carl Fake, said. November 26, 2016 at 5:03 p.m. My muse, please consider that the Jews were long ago inverted with Germans Esau Edom Odin, so that these dwell in the house so to speak and are now modern Jewry, hence the symbols not Jew at all are now predominant in Israel. The wasp traded places and hides inside the synagogue, under the skirts of Satan. Just Ashkenaz the German no Jews, Isis, Isus, Jesus all the German Venus the green ray to the black sun Saturn. This is esoteric Hilterism, the 666-555 religion of the ISHHHH 33.
Universal peace. Now, this is Donald Trump. Prevent a two-state solution. World by any means necessary. Included in the two-state solution agreement that the allies of Israel and Palestine may not intervene if they go to war with each other to prevent a two-state solution. World universal peace. Now, keys to you, Rick. Thank you for your idea for universal peace. Universal peace. Now, the goals of the committee of 300 we find two gods by means of wars in the advanced countries by means of starvation and disease in the third world countries. The death of 3 billion people by the year 2050 people they call substances. Get a radiological water filter and stable food and rice. You cannot survive a nuclear event. Melt down them without it. The more there of us, the better. Not yet. Based is all about being yourself and not caring what anybody else thinks. Anti-fund page AB. Grab him by the pussy. Real John David Wills page known Philly yacht. Real John David Wills page known Philly yacht. Real John David Wills page known Philly yacht. My God.
Single culturalisms. To make pictures in 16:9 format with iPhone, use the Camera Plus app and click on the plus sign next to the Take a Picture button on the screen and choose the 16:9 format. To make 3D pictures, just make 2 pictures and move the camera a bit to the right or left for the second picture. Use the free Stereo Photo Maker to make a 3D picture, and look for side by side. Simply click on File, open left-right images and then click on File and then Save Stereo Image. Use the Tridev Media Player to view the 3D images in frame packing mode. If you use other software you may have to adjust the image size with Microsoft Paint to get the correct aspect ratio, which can also be used to watch 2D images and movies in 3D. I hope they make it possible to show side-by-side videos side-by-side instead of anaglyph on YouTube. I think most of what we read on Wikipedia, the CIA and Vatican edited encyclopedia, is true by far, but I know there are some lies on Wiki as well. Aluminium foil is excellent to shield, block, cancer cell phone radiation, but since an HF radiation meter that measures in microwatt is quite expensive, many people believe the lie that it's a harmless amount and that aluminium foil does not shield. Ivermectin did not have any effect on the centipedes. I give a reward of €150 for any cure or way to get the centipedes out of my body if it works on me. Skype, ProLogic999, or please leave a comment if you think you may know a way to get these critters out of my and my father's body. By the time YouTube stops providing the ability to add and edit annotations, so if I find a cure after that I cannot edit this annotation anymore. Please comment and subscribe and warn everyone about the dangers of centipedes. See my other vids for more info. Universal peace now. I hope cloves, the herb, prevents them from procreating and that they die a natural death. 6 years max lifespan of Lithobius according to Wiki, the CIA and Vatican edited encyclopedia, 1903, from Xenoforeign, Strange plus Phobia Fear, earlier, c. 1884, it meant agoraphobia, Battle Burke me, go home Nazis come, left plus right played. The Barclay Massacre is just one example. If they voted electronically, I do not believe the results anyway. We see that Wilders and Le Pen did not have enough votes, but Trump did, and Trump has more influence anyway, because, USA, Erdogan says if visas aren't granted to flood Europe, he'll flood Europe without visas. Pope calls for refugees to be put in Auschwitz-style concentration camp. StayListTormer.com, April 23, 2017. I ended their New World Order, aka global government plans, on my own. Most people understand depopulating Earth and a Luciferian global government would only benefit a handful of pedo elite, and they do not want to be depopulated themselves. So these racist Jews want multiculturalism for the rest of the world, but not for Israel. For Israel they want a two-state solution, to split them up into two groups, the opposite of multiculturalism. They are so racist they believe that flooding these countries with foreigners will destroy these countries to the extent a Luciferian global government can be imposed on them. They are depopulating Earth for their Luciferian global government together with the Jesuits and Freemasons, and they are all associated with pedophilia and abuse, and so are all religions. If I could, I'd stick a stalking permit on you. The work is hot enough. Vote New World Order. I am not a debunker. I have real evidence that proves these 6 Jews and some non-Jews they quote work unquote with want to depopulate you all, 93% of the world's global population. ISIS leader al-Baghdadi is a Jewish Mossad agent named Simon Elliott. Used@wiki.com posted on February 7, 2016. Mossad chose the name ISIS deliberately so the rabbis and others that may not use the names of so-called false gods cannot lie about them or talk about the attacks. Theory. Documents show al-Baghdadi trained by Mossad Press TV News videos. August 23, 2014. ISIS leader, al-Baghdadi, connection with Mossad. Muller-Dan God Jan 7, 2015. ISIS is a U.S.-Israeli creation. Top 10 indications ISIS foreknowledge via leaked data. ISIS never attacks Israel. Toyota trucks. ISIS first-class social media skills. Israeli group site first to release ISIS footage. ISIS leader Baghdadi, a Mossad agent, leaked cables showing U.S. plotting Syrian overthrow. Russia bombs ISIS. U.S. protects ISIS. ISIS always the excuse for further intervention. ISIS is an acronym for Mossad, the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Interesting coincidence. www.globalresearch.co/ISIS is a Israeli creation. Top 10 indications. Washington, the former employee at U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, Edward Snowden, has revealed that the British and American intelligence and the Mossad worked together to create the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS. According to documents released by Snowden, the only solution for the protection of the Jewish state is to create an enemy near its borders. www.gulfdailynews.com July 15, 2014. ISIS leader is Simon Elliott, a Jewish-born Zionist CIA and Mossad agent. Edward Lance November 18, 2016. Don't let the fake media tell you that I have changed my position on the wall. It will get built and help stop drugs, human trafficking, etc. Retweets 17,694, likes 64,654.
So I'd like to add, watch out for insects. They remotely control insects. They also have high MEMS, hybrid insect microelectric mechanical systems. And much of this stuff has been covered by me in my previous broadcasts, so check them out. Please like and subscribe. Thank you all for your likes. I have over 100 likes. And it's still going up, of course. I only have to be discovered. And then I too will have millions of views. But if a two-state solution world war will come to pass, then the EMP will erase everything. So it's good to keep a backup on CD-ROM of stuff you think is important. And blocking of the speech engine can be done selectively with wireless energy, the same technology and the same type of radiation. Nikola Tesla's wireless energy, also known as scalar waves, which I did a previous broadcast about, explaining that they're not microwaves they're using to control your mind, but scalar wireless energy radiation. And scalar waves are not blocked by aluminum foil. Only cancer cell phone, aka microwave radiation, is blocked by aluminum foil. So people wearing an aluminum foil hat are not paranoid, though they should put it on the outside of their head so that it's not in contact with their head. Yay! Okay. Well, I'm looking kind of bad at the moment, so I have to wash my face and wake up a little. But we can do that now, basically.
– 5:36 a.m., April 25, 2017. Twitter.com/RealDonaldTrump, Moccoli, Incorporated. Verified account and Mr. Moccoli 3H 3 hours ago. No, it means that a wall doesn't stop people from entering country. and most illegals are overstayed visas, not traipsing, walking across. 50 replies, 16 retweets, 415 likes. Paul Nehlin. Verified account at Nehlin 3H 3 hours ago. Incorrect. The killers are sneaking in across a porous border. I can tweet photos of dead Americans killed by repeat deportees all day. You could argue, if you have to do anything or something for it, it is not real love. Free. No cure for centipedes in the human body. Parasitosis of myriapods in man. Cure needed. IEEI the Grid Kid, hooked up, the flat earth. I don't see any flats. The poker flat earth perhaps? Could this NASA live Earth from space be a CGI made with weather data from radar? Posted in chat of the video, NASA live, Earth from space live feed, incredible IAS's live stream of Earth from space, no stars visible, no debris, no satellites and no sun, no planes, corporations. Bilderberg is not mentioned in the wiki / Willem Alexander _ the _ Netherlands article. Perhaps they think Bilderberg is not important enough to mention. There is no wiki article on the Bilderberg group, only on the hotel chain, Hotel and Conference, Bilderberg Hotel, a hotel in Nieuwesterbeek in the Netherlands, namesake of the Bilderberg group. Or do they have to pretend the Bilderberg group does not exist so they cannot be caught? Wiki / list _ of _ Bilderberg _ participants put on CD-ROM to protect against TMP. The Dutch king and some other kings such as Prince Charles and Juan Carlos I of Spain are on the Wiki Bilderberg participants list. Rothschild is not on the wiki list so he's not coming in, lol. Rothschild is only mentioned in the footnotes of the list wiki article. Carolyn Moorhead, April 18, 1977, Times profile. The Bilderberg Group, The Times. p. 9. Henry Kissinger will be there, so will Helmut Schmidt, Baron Edmund de Rothschild, Joseph Luns, Giovanni Agnelli and Mrs. Thatcher. This is the 25th Bilderberg meeting. The Rothschild family is the leading European force within the Bilderberg Group, sharing its power with the American-based Rockefeller Empire. PrisonPlanet.com. Free speech from what? Agreement. Both Palestine's and Israel's allies may not interfere if they go to war with each other to prevent a world war. Anti-polarization. 3 reasons WHYMPRO Trump. 1. Hillary. 2. Audit the Fed. 3. No unlimited influx of immigrants to crash the economy. 4. Free THC. Bible equals collection of plagiarized polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism. If controlled opposition gets too big, the Jesuits will lose control. Theory. Hey hey, ho ho, both sides have got to go, lol. Cool aid behind the left shoulder blade, John Roberts. Hey liberals, I'm going to shoot you? Lots of times in the stomach. Chat 254 Dutch time 428 2017. Chat of live the video, crazy Barclay protest riot police, and Coulter speech. Donald Trump supporters rally freedom. Antifa President Donald Trump News and Live speech 2017 94,720 views. Someone wrote source funded Antifa. Donald Trump's IQ, at 156, is comparable to that of the smartest US presidents. Snopes.com. What is alt-left and alt-right? You have the alt button on your keyboard on both sides of and next to the space bar. Need I say more? Silent sound audio spotlight available for consumers to inject voice to skull messages, intracranial messages also known as voices in the head. You cannot Google that. If you do not believe me, then you are brain controlled, lol. Mama Rottweiler Jews truly see themselves as not only gods but also God's chosen ... meaning they chose themselves over the non-Jew. Because our US is controlled by a Zog, they continue writing the script which further enslaves every man, woman and child in the US but also the world. You can't criticize a Jew because Goyim are below the Jew. In their minds anyway. I think the left and the right will never have enough power to do anything in our fictional, synthetic telepathy is real. Alt-right, the Nazis and fascists, are mostly controlled opposition mixing in homophobia and racism, working on depopulating the earth together with the Jews. Many of these alt-righters pretend to be Christians and are controlled by the Masons. Some are Masons themselves, but more by the Jesuits that are supposedly in control of the alphabet agencies such as NSA, Mossad and MI65, which are the only people that have access to and control the synthetic telepathy machine which controls their emotions and thoughts, and through the wall cancer radar to see them in 3D. Theory: truth is what defines reality. This is more useful than what Nietzsche wrote about truth. Truth is a mobile army of metaphors, metonyms, anthropomorphisms, in short a sum of human relations which have been subjected to poetic and rhetorical intensification, translation and decoration. Truths are illusions of which we have forgotten that they are illusions, metaphors which have become worn by frequent use and have lost whole sensuous vigor, yet we still do not know where the drive to truth comes from, for so far we have only heard about the obligation to be truthful which society imposes in order to exist from, on truth and lying in a non-moral sense. This sounds more like the definition of lies than of truth. Lies are illusions, not truths. Nietzsche must suck. Theory. Politico Facebook page August 14, 2015. Trump quotes. 9. I have black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only guys I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes all day. USA Today, May 20, 1991. 19. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Entertainment Tonight, July 1, 2015. From The 199 Most Donald Trump Things Donald Trump Has Ever Said. Would you vote for this man? By Michael Cruz, August 14, 2015. As long as President Trump does not indicate whether he was joking about not letting blacks but only Jews count his money, you can argue it is not evidence that proves he is a racist. Our bodies have to last for the rest of eternity. We are our bodies, no more no less. Altrix.com, reachable via cachedpages.com and or the Altright page in the Netherlands, reachable via cachedpages.com and translatable with a Google Translate plugins. If the soldiers did not even get bulletproof vests, they don't give a fuck about their lives. Control the factors that control aging, everything else is a fucking waste of time. DeFace Stitchman. George Soros and Margaret Chan are Committee of 300, the subversive body of the Club of Rome, members. The Committee of 300 governs the world via a three-city state empire, in which the cities pay no taxes and obey their own laws. The Committee of 300 is the ultimate secret society made up of an untouchable ruling class, which includes the Queen of the United Kingdom, Elizabeth II, the Queen of the Netherlands, the Queen of Denmark and the royal families of Europe. An outsider sojourn to.wordpress.com. Among the goals of the Committee of 300 we find to cause by means of limited wars in the advanced countries, by means of starvation and diseases in the third world countries, the death of 3 billion people by the year 2050, people they call useless eaters. The Committee of 300, Illuminati, commissioned Cyrus Vance to write a paper on this subject of how to bring about such genocide. The paper was produced under the title Global 2000 Report and was accepted and approved for action by former President James Earl Carter, and Edwin Muskie, then Secretary of States, for and on behalf of the U.S. government. Under the terms of the Global 2000 Report, the population of the U.S. is to be reduced by 100 million by the year of 2050, targets of the Illuminati and the Committee of 300 by Dr. John Coleman. To bring about depopulation of large cities according to the trial run carried out by the Pol Pot regime in Cambodia. It is interesting to note that Pol Pot's genocidal plans were drawn up in the U.S. by one of the Club of Rome's research foundations, and overseen by Thomas Enders, a high-ranking State Department official. It is also interesting that the committee is currently seeking to reinstate the Pol Pot butchers in Cambodia, targets of the Illuminati and the Committee of 300 by Dr. John Coleman. internationalpeace.info/video/depopulation.html. So according to the online sources, the Committee of 300 is involved in depopulating Earth, which is the worst dirt you can dig up about these people probably. All other despicable things they did pale in comparison to exterminating 7 billion people, 93% of the world's global population. Georgia Guidestones, book quotes. The power of directed energy weapon torture and synthetic telepathy are not to be underestimated, and everyone must unite against torture and the abuse of synthetic telepathy. To protect and serve, taxpayers have rights. The Cosmos
David Cho CDC did, that CDC
Don't let them touch you!
did, I think was very impactful and very accurate. They made 4 points. The first was that cases were increasing exponentially.
Don't let them touch you!
George Soros and Margaret Chan are committee of 300 subversive body of the club of members.
Is the universe regarded as a complex and orderly system, the opposite of chaos, wiki, cosmos. Sensitization is a non-associative learning process in which repeated administration of a stimulus results in the progressive amplification of a response. Sensitization often is characterized by an enhancement of response to a whole class of stimuli in addition to the one that is repeated. In psychology, desensitization is defined as the diminished emotional responsiveness to a negative, aversive or positive stimulus after repeated exposure to it. Destroying countries is a terroristic act even if you do it to create a global government. Protect your country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Tumor computer, extra virgin, cocoa, nude oil. The Daily Stormer is being sued by Jewish terrorists. In order to survive, we need shekels. Donate to our legal fund. dailystormer.com, France. New Front national leader denies Jew hollowooks. Immediately replaced by Homo April 29, 2017. Hash-based is all about being yourself and not caring what anybody else thinks. Andrew Anglin of Daily Stormer is an anti-white Zionist shill smile Sahayim Welfguard 6,399 views. Skull and Bones World War III The Two-State Solution World War WW3 Get a radiological water filter and storable food, peanut butter and rice. You cannot survive a nuclear event, meltdown, MAD, without it. The more there are of us the better. Use iodine.
So I think that being base is cool, but that being racist is illegal, and also saying kill such and such is also illegal, so that's not cool. Racism is just stupid. It makes clear they have a low IQ. Of course, if I start living near the equator for a couple of years and then a couple of generations later would also have a darker skin color because of the sunshine, it has nothing to do with intelligence, etc. And because people are still discriminated, they can have a lower IQ, which is so blondes and blue eyes have the highest IQ. That is about 1 or 2% higher, basically. But that has to do with the milieu, with the environment they grow up in, not with the race. We are all the human race, descendants of Lucy and the hominids, and it's time we start realizing this before we exterminate ourselves with weapons of self-destruction and such. So prevent MAD and create a cure against aging.
On your breast it will get absorbed by your body. Also Google baking soda and apple vinegar. Cancer is a fungus according to sources online, and people depopulating Earth fly about this. Hey hey, ho ho, Donald Trump has got the gold. Anti-fun, the Earth is oblong, spherical, a globe not flat. Eric W. should overlook a bay and observe the buildings or trees on the other side of the bay which seem to be partially underwater because of the Earth's curvature. This way you can prove to yourself and others the Earth is oblong beyond any reasonable doubt. Many flat earthers are controlled opposition. CoinOpro OK? Comment to the video. 200 Proofs Earth is not a spinning ball video book which has more than 1.5 million views, more than all my videos combined. The blasting blessing. Everybody take your shill pill. What do you think about a two-state solution world war? Are you prepped? Could you do a broadcast about it? Fake Nazis. Controlled opposition. They are always mixing in racism and homophobia. Good point. Comment to the YouTube vid. Most of the Nazis on social media are actually media or political shills. The ecosystem. People that believe the lie that Judaism is the oldest religion must be low IQ or liars. The early dynastic period began with the unification of Egypt around 3000 BC. This event transformed Egyptian religion, as some deities rose to national importance and the cult of the divine pharaoh became the central focus of religious activity. Horus was identified with the king, and his cult center in the Upper Egyptian city of Nekhen was among the most important religious sites of the period. Ancient Egyptian religion was a complex system of polytheistic beliefs and rituals which were an integral part of ancient Egyptian society. Wiki/ancient_Egyptian_religion. So, if you're all in airplane mode you can take off. Religion equals pedophilia. Paid. Oh, elite, finally free. We will not be free before we abolish relying on everything counts ain't large amounts. Cone, a paradoxical anecdote or riddle without a solution, used in Zen Buddhism to demonstrate the inadequacy of logical reasoning and provoke enlightenment. Jimmy Savile.
So that comment, this was written by Finally Free. In a chat, his question marks are added in the YouTube chat. Jimmy Savile was a Jewish pedophile. And usually they leave out that he was Jewish. Like Dr. Held F. Shipman, the doctor that killed over 400 of his patients.
Was a Jewish pedophile. Religion is the root of all evil is a lie as well, but a good one, say, Sammy Street, Ulrich Kaufman. If you write illegal stuff on this chat, can you get caught? Breathe, hydrate, masturbate. It's better to pay the artists you like directly than to buy their CD. ADD to agreement. Palestine's and Israel's allies may not intervene if Israel and Palestine go to war with each other. You could propose IT. IT would make a two-state solution world war impossible, and then I could be for IT. IT depends on if I think IT is best for the people, of course. Since IT is Asian, I think no one has total control. Perhaps we should all throw a bong party. World War III is in the cards. The Illuminati card game. The two-state solution world war must be prevented by any means necessary. Terrorist nuke is another card in the game. Washington ISIS Mossad? Zika flight. Bacteria-laden mosquitoes unleashed in Florida 2. F's News May 3, 2017. Paradigm shift on a two-state solution. Now news: the problem with the two-state solution creating a sovereign independent Palestinian state west of the Jordan River, is that a Palestinian state already exists east of the Jordan River. It's called Jordan, UK, Rain, Ukraine, is not. A ceasefire can only help ISIS. The Syrians are winning the war. A ceasefire will give the terrorists the opportunity to rearm and reorganize, while repositioning their troops for a new wave of attacks. Not to mention that ISIS didn't exactly respect past ceasefire agreements. Is this also true if the claim that ISIS is, in fact, Mossad is true? I-system. ISIS fire sounds like ISIS fire. Latin proverbs. Divide and imper, divide and conquer. Cui bono, to whose good, also translated as, who benefits. Docendo decimus, by teaching we learn. Dum animo state, spsa state. While there is life there is hope. Et si omnes ego non, even if all others, not I carpe diem, seize the day. Why do all lenses have a curvature and are there no flat lenses? Okie dope. Hybrid insects are real, and so is the T4 nanobot. We will eventually get rid of all religion through education. Destroy the voice of God weapon. Do not kill all believers wherever you may find them. It's illegal. Jesuits DID 9/11, not a real job. ISIS is an American plot to destabilize the region, says Iran. Time.com. I have always doubted the source of the ISIS is Mossad claim was Snowden. It does not matter what the source is, only if it is true. Without evidence no one can convince me either way. Snowden and Assange may both be controlled opposition, labeling things and possibly lies that they want to spread as classified. I do not know if there is any evidence to prove this theory wrong. If there is, Skype Pro Logic 999. Snowden confirms that al-Baghdadi was trained by Mossad Siyasat. Park. It's just psychological warfare, or not. The best way to control opposition is to destroy it ourselves, lol. The Lenin quote is, the best way to control opposition is to lead it ourselves. NSA doc reveals ISIS leader al-Baghdadi is US, British and Israeli intelligence asset. NSA documents add more detail to plan to destabilize Middle East. Kernimo, Infowars.com, July 19, 2014. ISIS, creation of the CIA. The Alex Jones Channel. 387,367 views. Published on June 23, 2014. Putin tells everyone exactly who created ISIS. Truthstream Media. 11,807,930 views. The Jewish people were expelled from many countries, but so were the Jesuits. Though there is an anti-Semitic movement, I have not found any anti-Jesuit movement. Nazis are not purely anti-Semitic. The story goes they mix in racism, homophobia and extermination of mentally impaired people, which are pretty expensive to keep but create jobs. Any person can become mentally impaired and there are ways to raise your IQ. There should be a movement that stands up to the people that are trying to depopulate the earth. against the infiltration of our government by Jesuits and Masons that should be rounded up and arrested, anti-racism, anti-homophobia, and that exposes the fact that Islamophobia does not exist because there are 164 jihad verses in the Quran and therefore it is not an irrational fear. If you do not regulate the influx of immigrants, Sharia law will be imposed upon you within your own country. Stop Islamization and expose religion. We need de-religionization through education. A movement by and for the people, that helps to protect and serve the taxpayers, anti-torture, anti-government corruption. onawaytoday.wordpress.com, exit Brexitor, Nexit, fuck updates, better right use sometime or otherwise they blow up themselves as well. While just wondering if they used a timer, warn the world grave imminent danger, not just WW3, must see important spread intel. Ariana Grande cries after Donald Trump becomes president. YouTube: if there are no pictures of dead people nor video, then I do not believe it happened. Really? No Rasta flag in the emojis conspiracy? Fact LOL. C33, Jihad in Islamabad, all alphabet agencies controlled by the Jesuit Adolfo Nicolas. 4 are twisted? At Ulrich Kaufman. They were detonated outside the security perimeter, because they couldn't breach security. The metal detector perimeter? I guess they can make explosives without metal, and the Jesuits and Masons don't care. They want to depop Earth. Control the 23 factors that control aging, invest in that instead of fake mission to Mars again. It's okay if your legs fall off, normal side effect, but you need a prescription. It's normal. 20,000 people. One video drive out ISIS, give them jeeps. Weed didn't start the fire. The ISIS rocket attack on Israel foiled as missiles shot down. Daily Mail. Attack, or was there another one? Perhaps we need to disturb the balance instead. Dangerous theory or not? Nordic Muslim, actually it's garlic and honey combined. Mr. VTech? We intend to turn Europe into a mixed race of Asians and Negroes ruled over by the Jews. Count Kalergi Kaudenhove, 1925. Louis Cat? Ulrich sounds like an axe murderer name. Louis Cat? Ulrich sounds like an axe murderer name. I bought an axe yesterday. How can you know that, Louis Cat? Not planning to kill anyone though. Other things for that. You can make this sub, the no option illusion, satanic noise Rivni. I inverted it myself. The fruit of a slum god, missing blood transfusion children. This includes a picture of a little boy who was at the Ariana Grande concert. Ariana Granada LOL, sacked. Sounds a bit like Shriana Grande. 20,000 people in the stadium. Not one picture or video of the dead people. Are they sure it was not an exercise? From the Fox News live chat, fake Muslim stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack. Fake Muslim destroyed after false flag Ariana Grande attack. Fuck the X Factor trolls. The MSM can go die in a ditch with their Zionist NWO rejects, so no one actually believes the Manchester attack was real. They just pretend for the voices in their heads. Names of the chatters left out to protect them. Microwave psychosis. About 50% of the people in the chat believed the attack was real. Actually, Alex Jones left out the Jesuits did Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their nuclear bomb was called Trinity as well. False flag fears over US mock nuclear attack today. Any news or comments posted in this article or video or parts thereof may be satire just in case they lied, and their lie is a crime, based in your face, eyes. Louis XIV. I have always been against the DU war crime, DE weapon torture and the use of tactical nukes in Syria. Now we get our ISIS reward. I have always been against the DU war crime, DE weapon torture and the use of tactical nukes in Syria because it creates what most consider terrorists. Now we get our ISIS reward. Fuck the responsible leaders, not whole countries. Those that want to depopulate you or your enemy. Arrest all members of secret societies. Islam cannot win in predominantly non-Muslim countries. This is why we need to regulate the influx of immigrants. Islam is based on the lie that God exists, therefore it cannot win. I think it's cool that people can write anything in this chat, what they truly think or believe. Terror is TS. Do not lower yourself to their level. Get the responsible ones, not innocent civilians. Just as drive them out equals give them jeeps. Two wrongs do not make a right. The judge knows not to convict anyone without a fair trial. not to redeem a murder from the death penalty, only death penalty for people that killed more than 3 and only when the murder has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Marverin at Tanya Leonora Freud also wanted to fuck his mom and claimed that he subconsciously wanted to suck dick. Ulrich Kaufman. People cannot help their sexual preference. How well they behave counts if you're judging someone or whatever. Religion may only be talked about to expose it. Theory, conspiracy facts are not theories. The Bible is a collection of plagiarized polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism which proves God does not exist. Mike Hancock? Ulrich, give us that Big Bang shit again. It makes sense. A fluid in space becomes a sphere, so our planet was a fluid mass that cooled down, abiogenesis, and now we're there. One cannot fool all the people all the time. Only if total brain control with synthetic telepathy is a possibility. It is no believe the Earth is oblong spherical but a fact, and flat earthers are controlled opposition shills that want to cover up the Apollo moon landings are a hoax. For example, the lies the Earth is flat and shape-shifting reptilians are real are mixed in with the truth they want everyone to disbelieve. They could take them out with their DEW weapon. Believe me, drones are obsolete. All the more reason to help prevent WW3. US plutocracy costs. Running for pres takes a lot of money, but you can change it into a democracy. Where there is a will there is a way. My mother used to say, love is eyes wide open. Protection, lawyer B. Plutocracy, government by the wealthy. Pluto gives wealth to all who ask. It is how that wealth is used that renders the judgment of Pluto. Satan, God awaits the judgment. Basic forms of government power structure: separation, associated state, dominion, chiefdom, federalism, federation, confederation, devolution, integration, empire, hegemony, unitary state, administrative division, power source, democracy, power of many, direct representative, semi-others, oligarchy, power of few, aristocracy, military junta, plutocracy, stratocracy, timocracy, theocracy, critarchy, paerticracy, technocracy, autocracy, power of one, despotism, illiberal democracy, semi-authoritarian dictatorship, hybrid xenocracy, power ideology, monarchy versus republic, socio-political ideologies, absolute constitutional, directorial, legalist, Chinese, parliamentary, semi-presidential, presidential, authoritarian versus libertarian, socio-economic ideologies, capitalism, colonialism, communism, distributism, feudalism, socialism, anarchism versus statism, civil liberties, ideologies, anarchy, monarchy, totalitarianism, global versus local, geocultural ideologies, central, city, state, national unity, world, and these are just the known ones. Centralization versus decentralization, power to the pedo versus power to the people, no generalizations. The ideal form of government is a hedonistic autarchic aristocracy in the sense of the best positions are taken by the people with the highest grades, and people help to bestow maximum fulfillment upon their fellow human beings and themselves in society. Theory, you have two cows, you have to chaos. Ulrich, in reality most of us do not have cows. If we'd all become vegetarian, the world's hunger problem would be solved, because it takes up to 16 kilograms of grain to produce 1 kilogram of cancer hormone cow meat. Forbes disagrees. The cancer hormone cadaver meat selling industry is $1 billion industry. It's scientifically proven living vegetarian is healthiest, but you have to make sure you eat enough foods with vitamin B12 or take methylcobalamin spray, B12 vitamin spray. Otherwise it is unhealthier and even deadly to be vegetarian. Top 10s of foods with B12 online, on the, now, huge internet, the World Wide Web. I think the key is taking the best of all basic forms of government and creating a new form of government. There are totally awesome people in the world, which gives me a good feeling, some hope, a feeling of love, happiness and safety. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke: men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction. Blaise Pascal, Fences, appalled by Manchester Ariana Grande attack, arrest the directed energy weapon torturers. It's done by the House of Orange Juice, Jew World Order, yes you it now, a terrorist attack. My video fake MSM stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack has only 86 views, though it was posted before the video Manchester Ariana Grande fake bombing, which has 38,902 views, 24/5/2017. This proves something beyond any reasonable doubt. Live. Manchester Ariana Grande fake false flag terrorist attack. Sweet black power. Garanicola. New discovery shows pre-human hominids in Europe before African non-Western immigrants consume 59% of Denmark's tax revenue. Flips. Duterte declares martial law to fight ISIS in Mindanao. May 24, 2017. Guardian. Outright weaponizing irony to spread fascism. More shalal. Chick on my dick. How did they identify the Ariana Grande bomber if he blew himself up? Ariana Grande concert insurance fraud. Manchester Arena hoax pays riches. Johnny Supertramp 2 one day ago 5,737 views. This terrorism hoax pays out big to the promoters and artists. Typical Freemason insurance fraud. New. Snowden. It's not so far away from Dr. Ruth. These nasty kids need to be eaten. From. Drink new blood. Iggy Pop. Possible next ISIS attacks based on psychic premonitions not visions. Paris, France. Boston. Arlington. Lyon, Washington, big one promised by ISIS according to MSM, Westfalen, Breda, Friesland, Amsterdam, Tilburg, Rotterdam, Apeldoorn, Niedersachsen, Sicily, Rome, Cairo. I'd say Boston is next if I had to guess. Dome of Massachusetts State House, Boston perhaps, some kind of dome, the Dome and Boston Music Room in London perhaps less likely, Vatican in Rome. The Tomb of Skull and Bones, less likely if they are Masons, Jesuit-controlled or Mossad, based on amount of Muslims in the USA, New York, Ohio, Illinois, California. Ariana Grande concert terrorism bomb hoax is a fireworks cannon, hoax. Johnny Supertramp 2 Manchester Arena bomb hoax and Cicada 3301, 22 dead, Manchester bombing false flag, dead victim is alive. Lift the Veil. Manchester Arena hoax crisis actor pushing the agenda. Anthony 2B backup channel. Manchester Arena bombing, false flag psyop. The inconsistencies in the official story. Pretty good video. The dude reminds me of the Coldplay singer. Bomber rage, 22. Date of bombing, 22 May. Number of dead, 22. 3 times 22. Set 2. 2. GM police. Genetically modified police of Greater Manchester, nuclear muscle Trump haters are terrorists. Mike Hancock? Ulrich see something shoot, something. Do you mean illegal heroin? Don't any of you know where ISIS will strike next? The sick ambitions of a caliphate bent on carnage. Chilling map predicts where ISIS will seize new land, strike the west with lone wolf attacks and awaken sleeper cells. Oh, before the end of Ramadan, ISIS announced it will target Western countries like UK, France, Spain and Italy. Institute for the Study of War says, it correctly predicted ISIS would execute mass casualty attack on Tunisia and a Shia mosque in the Middle East. ISIS militant Saifuddin Rezeki killed 38, including 18 Britons, when he opened fire on tourists on Tunisian beach. At almost the same time, an ISIS suicide bomber blew himself up in a Shia mosque in Kuwait, killing at least 27. Extremists will also unleash its dangerous terror cells in Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, the Philippines. Combination of 4 surveys found that 42 million Muslims in Arab states feel somewhat positively towards ISIS. The country is almost entirely Muslim. But ISW also predicts that ISIS will mastermind lone wolf attacks on countries with smaller Muslim populations like the UK, United States, Canada and Australia. Its experts claim the countries ISIS has announced as targets are England, France, Italy, Spain, the United States, the Caucasus region of southern Russia, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, Iran, Yemen, Afghanistan and Pakistan. DailyMaily.co.uk. We have to think about how to bring an end to all terrorism. I think it's possible with synthetic telepathy, which is being abused. Power corrupts almost always. The penis in me? No, it's repeat after me. 9/11 was an inside joke. Dial. The horse, the bars, the force. A-la-dee-da, a-la-dee-day. Ice is cold. See, I ate it. The goim knows. I didn't see that many child transfusions. Love is near this ass turds. Womenchester. Manchester, a Jewish, Polish, homosexual, pedophile, necrophile, cannibal, Nazi, multiple offender terrorist. Again, I lol it all. I am Allah. The law is me. I am totally and utterly assimilated, the way everybody is supposed to be, he. And everybody believes me. My cup overflows, boo-hoo. Did you know? Go zones are zones to have sex in. Jinimus Cabbage Hill. South Park exposed Scientology's biggest secret / Sirius XM. Europe as a whole could make a new law to regulate the influx of immigrants. Nation's first ever public satanic monument approved. Church militant May 22, 2017. Two-state solution conspicuously absent from Trump's agenda in Israel. Al Jiminer May 24, 2017. JNS.org. During his meeting with Palestinian Authority, PA, President Mahmoud Abbas on Tuesday, and in speeches throughout the day, U.S. President Donald Trump notably omitted any mention of a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Trump made no mention of two-state solution. Eretz Shiva May 23, 2017. Chief Foreign Envoy Oded Revivi of the Council of Judea and Samaria praised U.S. President Trump's statements in Bethlehem, noting that the two-state solution was not even mentioned by Trump, even though it and its companion concept of Israeli, how renewed violence in Israel and Palestine could bring us closer to a two-state solution. Slate Magazine. Two-state solution. World War not mentioned by Trump in Israel. Jesuits WW3 agenda. Bones. The current overwhelming consensus among Earth scientists is that Maldivites were formed about 14.7 million years ago during the impact of a giant meteorite in present-day northern Arise. Yetuki Ho 014 minutes ago. Hey superior being, make it rain using a copy of the 9 to 11 Commission report. Ulrich Kaufman 30 seconds ago, edited. The 9/11 Commission report does not mention the thermite explosives used to demolish the WTC as proven by Dr. not Alex Jones, though it is proven beyond any reasonable doubt thermite was used. The sod of beams also make this very clear. If you mean the Commission report makes you cry, I understand, but don't worry, there are millions of people that know what really happened. ISIS, IS, lol. American Mormon, 19. Left with burns and shrapnel injuries in Brussels attack, also survived Boston and Paris bombings. Mormon missionary Mason Wells, 19, has survived his third terrorist attack. dailymail.coil.uk. Freemason Wells. The American people don't believe anything until they see it on television. Richard M. Nixon, U.S. President, Manchester hoax. 3 short videos. Anaconda malt liquor 4,361 views, 218 likes, 9 dislikes. They are not totally mind controlled if they know mind control is real. Nuke science, lol. Avoid public transport and stadiums. Public transport and stadiums. A little train in the stadium that takes you to the other side. When visiting dailystormer.com 27/5/17/1855. 503 service unavailable. No server is available to handle this request. It's back online now, perhaps updated. Islam means submission. Geert Wilders on Trump's speech. Islam is the problem, warns West must face the truth about evil ideology or perish. WND.com exclusive. Is I Nomo. Is made for kids. Blue transfusions. Uppers massage. Macron. Can Merkel and Obama beat Hillary? What do you all think? Skype, ProLogic 999, Midori Brexit. We have to keep on using public transport and stadiums to show ISIS we are not afraid. Lol. Board is in keyboard. The brain is like a machine. Every brain has its own mechanisms. Vampirophobia. They are legal immigrants if they are not Native American Indians. Tickle me Elmo. Professor Moriarty chat quote, stop fighting Israel's wars. There is no honor in fighting your fellow humans in a foreign country. They could use synthetic telepathy to kill terrorists. The army is obsolete. Joseph Thompson. Trump is Christ pretty funny. Sophomorons. Who sophomore, did you mean? Sophomore search results. A second-year student in a U.S. college. B. A 10th grade student in a U.S. high school. 2. A person in the second year of carrying out an endeavor. 3. A 3-year-old racehorse, usually in its second year of racing. TheFreeDictionary.com. You wanna buy some cum? They are safely tucked away in their homes, those scalar waves.
So I want to respond to something I heard. And people can always Skype ProLogic999 if you want to be live in this broadcast. Here you see the time. And the thing I read was they are illegal immigrants if they are not Native American Indians. Of course, you have lots of non-Native American Indians that were born in the US. They've been there for a while. Also, they gave the Native American Indians some land, perhaps not enough. You could argue they own it all. So I just want to add that many things are not to be taken too seriously. It can also be what the perpetrators whispered into my ear to make me look bad, or just things that I found remarkable. So extremely good things, but also extremely evil things, funny things, serious things, etc. It's all a mix. It's all in the mix for universal peace.
And the home of depraved, the blamable guards have become real. Sod 3, sod, chiefly British slang, noun 1. Sodomite, homosexual, 2. Chap, fellow, guy, 3. Child, kid, breadth, verb, used with object, sodded, sodding, 4. To damn, sod the bloody bastard, verb phrases 5. Sod off, to leave, usually as an imperative. Why don't you just sod off? Dictionary.com. Oh, fence, if. 35 2017 French President Macron blasts Russian state-owned media as propaganda. Washington Post. Macron vows retaliation if chemical weapons used in Syria. CNN. They already used tactical nukes in Syria and depleted uranium in Iraq, which turned out not to have chemical weapons, which Bush claimed. Nothing is what it seems. Trust no one. A good magician always explains his tricks to the audience. He does not do it for the money but wants to make everybody do magic. L'art pour l'art. It may be better to pretend you are sick when you are healthy, otherwise the perpetrators may think, that person is healthy, we must do something. Things used to mind control. I prefer the term brain control. The masses. 1. Synthetic telepathy, monitoring and control of thoughts and emotions. 2. Hypnosis, also subliminal. 3. Directed energy weapon torture, Pavlovian mind control. 4. Religions divide et impera, splitting the nations up in religious groups to play out against each other. Wars, torture and murders, all in the name of religion. Therefore religion is an abomination, but also because there is no hereafter and because of the lie that God exists. Also other groups, black-white, liberals, Democrats, capitalists, communists. 5. Using wireless energy to control machines, for example make computers slower or faster, drain batteries instantly, etc. to give people the illusion it's done by an entity. 6. Brainwashing media, TV, radio, fake attacks to fearmonger and scapegoat the pedo-psycho Muslims that are killed if they leave their ideology in many countries. Noun, anarchy. 1. A state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. He must ensure public order in a country threatened with anarchy. Synonyms: lawlessness, absence of government, nihilism, mobocracy, revolution, insurrection. Antonyms: government, order. 2. Absence of government and absolute freedom of the individual, regarded as a political ideal. Try laxatives, pineapple juice, vacuum webs. Can anybody give me one good reason why a two-state solution world war cannot happen? Skype ProLogic999 or leave a comment. Who owns the no-go zones? Lauren Southern is Jewish. Stormfront.org forum. Lauren Southern supposedly tweeted, Jewish people are still recovering from the Holocaust. My grandparents escaped the Nazis in Denmark and lost everything. And also quote, apparently I'm Jewish and that's a problem. To which Sinead responded, yeah, her fake blonde hair is totally Aryan. Perhaps she is a crypto-Jewess that pretends she is not Jewish like Bill Gates? After quitting Jewish rebel media, Lauren Southern gets White House press pass. Andrew Anglin. Daily Stormer March 16, 2017. Anti-feminist conservative Lauren Southern bangs space black conservative. Kai clever Lauren Southern should shut her slut mouth. If you Google Lauren Southern military intelligence, the only thing you get is an article on Vice, from 6 days ago, where she apparently told the same story. She was in the process of applying to become a military intelligence officer when she attended a conference in Toronto, organized by Levant, who noticed her challenging his slate of speakers with tough questions on pipelines and ethical oil. I do not agree nor disagree with these writings. I just wanted to check if they consider Lauren Southern Jewish or not. Full collapse. Thurnovich bans baked Alaska from deplorable, invites Kike Milo instead. Bischoff Belsen Germanic death cult member Mar 16 Booner. While they can make quite a bit, PewDiePie was making millions. Canadian libertarians in revolt after party leadership suspends anti-feminist candidate Lauren Southern. Breitbart.com. Slutwalk is a transnational movement of protest marches calling for an end to rape culture, including victim blaming and slut-shaming of sexual assault victims. Wiki, Slutwalk, most used passwords, 1234567 God love QWERTY dragon pussy baseball football lemon monkey 696969 ABC 123 Mustang Michael Shadow Master Jennifer 11111120000 Jordan Superman Harley Fuck Hunter Fucky Trust No One Access Star Wars Computer Sexy 7 babies born with Zika-related birth defects in Florida. CBS Miami May 31, 2017, Martini Juggler. ISIS did not attack Israel, the supposed attack was prevented. ISIS fighters apologized after attack on Israeli soldiers. ISIS rocket attack on Israel foiled as missiles shot down. dailymail.co.uk. ISIS is a US-Israeli creation. Top 10 indications. Number 1, ISIS foreknowledge file leak. DIA docked. Number 2, ISIS never attacks Israel. Number 3, Toyota trucks. Number 4, ISIS first-class social media skills. Number 5, Israeli group site first to release ISIS footage. Number 6, ISIS leader Baghdadi Mossad agent. Number 7, leaked cables showing US plotting Syrian overthrow. Number 8, Russia bombs ISIS, US protects ISIS. Number 9, ISIS always the excuse for further intervention. Number 10, ISIS is an acronym for Mossad, the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Interesting coincidence, Israelis placing bombs in 9/11 evidence that ties Cheney and Mossad to 9/11. Some sources claim, Snowden said Mossad created ISIS. Assange said CIA created ISIS. ISIS is a CIA Mossad creation. Others claim, CWAPA.co, Jesuits created ISIS. Jesuits created ISIS. Jesuit priest Paolo Dall'Aglio, the father of ISIS, so the Jesuits are the puppet masters behind ISIS? Conspirator claims that the Society of Jesus is backing, training, and coordinating ISIS. Self.conspirator, submitted 2 years ago by blackmammonreddit.com. Directed energy weapon torture is done with scalar waves, not microwaves. ISIS not. On the eve of Jackson's 51st birthday, the Los Angeles County coroner concluded that his death was a homicide. The county coroner stated that he died from the combination of drugs in his body, with the most significant drugs being the anesthetic propofol and the anxiolytic lorazepam. Less significant drugs found in Jackson's body were midazolam, diazepam, lidocaine, and ephedrine. Wiki/death_of_Michael_Jackson. Avoid chemical, thus cancer-causing, drugs as much as possible. Prescription drugs are a leading killer in the USA. Snortly before her death she screamed, a propofol, highly cited source, Comey to testify publicly about Trump confrontations. CNN, Greenhouse, class emissions. Trump fires FBI head Comey after admission he gave Senate flawed testimony on Clinton email probe. IntelligencePost.com. I leave the likes and dislikes on so you can see what MI5 thinks about my videos. PewDiePie highest paid YouTuber, Dizzy DC. The soul is fictional. Miracles do not exist. Entities do not exist. Keep it real. No doubt there will be loads of reports claiming the London Bridge attack was another attack hoax. Totally fake and staged to be able to declare martial law, to put the government into God mode, to give the government more power, the right to shoot civilians and to take the right of the civilians to a lawyer away, habeas corpus and posse comitatus, worldwide, to impose their totalitarian global government. One picture of one supposed victim shows one man lying on the bridge with some possibly fake blood near his left foot. The shoe of his right foot is standing next to his foot. According to some sources, this is done to signal this is a fake attack. A shoe is dropped somewhere near the fake victim, though there supposedly were loads of victims, dead and wounded. At these supposed Muslim attacks, pictures and video of the wounded and dead are almost always completely missing, and the few pictures there are usually blurry, vague, and some claim dummies, dolls, are clearly seen on these pictures. Most people only have to hear about it on the news to be totally convinced these supposed attacks are real. How real, how fake? I heard the bridge was littered with depleted uranium shells and little tactical nukes. Is this true? London Bridge attack, 666 killed, 48 wounded. This is for Allah. You're Ulrich in Ul, you've got your own bath, Libertaser, Libertini, Freedommy. Why I do not pedo by, WT he, kid is dick backwards, sense, or, pedophile effects, the mushy hash, Shiat Sugaline, Big Farmer, Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Alex Jones and David Carwell fake, down with fake truth and fake truth fighters. Julian Assange is himself an intelligence black op asset. He is a victim of the Mijdrecht inside the Anglo-Saxon elites, and he was enrolled as a hacker by MI6, whose Zionist handlers are the authors of Anonymous as well, Eamon on equals no name in 2009. Assange is an example of the fighting of British Zionists who sided with American Zionists, so-called truth fighter Steve Mijdrecht, pseudo-Jew of Khazarian legacy and of Russian blood, and his pal Alex Jones, NSA Black Op asset, who was married to Mrs. Nichols, a Zionist CIA asset. https://alexjonesexposed.info. They united in their fight against Soros and co. of the transnational Zionists, who give a damn about Britain and United States. That's all. The Khazar Steve Mijdrecht, a pseudo-Jew, as well as Queen Elizabeth, pseudo-heir of King David's bloodline, a lie, simply finally realize that they will be eaten by the Zionist transnational mafia. No, not Illuminati, but a mundane organized crime syndicate octopus. Edward Snowden is the same. The Zionist black op asset from NSA, NASA, controlled opposition and fake whistleblower who is blowing the Zionist fake alien out of his ass of a mind slave, the worst kind of slave ever, hustling for the fake alien invasion of tall Nordic aliens, planned as a Las Vegas holographic show with the use of V2K. Piratocracy. Piratocracy.
So in the beginning I selected too much text basically. It's yeah, so I think this is a reasonable broadcast, some interesting stuff for you all. So please like and subscribe, and especially spread the information that is important to improve your timeline for yourself and everybody else. The truth can be a powerful tool, but nowadays you're also punished by your terroristic government for telling the truth about certain matters. So, if you're a single lady, you're very welcome for a free shiatsu hand massage, and to sit on the balcony, drink some coconut pineapple juice. It's a good combination. And yeah, that's it for now, I think. So I don't know what I'm gonna do or say the rest of this broadcast. This was the important information, the rest is more freestyle. Just talking about stuff, I guess. I'm gonna make another pipe. And yeah, the oldest people in the world were smokers. Miss Kaufman and Fulanayak was another one. Miss Kaufman is officially registered and she was also a smoker, but she quit before she died. She quit smoking. The microphone, I seem to have to talk very close to the mic to get the proper response. Perhaps I can adjust that. I don't know, I want display capture. Well, this is more interesting. I'm just in the level. I go to Windows, open volume mixer, playback devices, recording devices. The thing is hanging. Everything was hanging basically. Microphone. Let's see if the boost is on. Microphone boost is +10. And I can put this on. Is this even working? No. The microphone. It is this microphone. Let's see if the settings are in the properties of OBS. Open broadcaster software. USB audio codec. Okay, it was on the other one, okay. So then I'd have to boost this like this. Does this make any difference? It seems to make no difference. So I better put it on me, on myself. It's reasonable weather in the Netherlands. Let's just relax and make a pipe. So I avoid playing any tunes basically to avoid copyright infringement, and I play my own music sometimes. It's not warm enough to sit here without my shirt on. A couple of days back it was warmer in the Netherlands. That's not really interesting. Let's let in some sunshine to wake up. Sometimes it improves when I close the curtain, but now it seems to improve when I open it. So So what is most important? I cannot get the volume of the mic louder at the moment. Now we have 120 dropped frames, so it seems to drop 60 at a time. But I have virtual DJ on, and I've uninstalled the camera program, so the camera is now directly via Open Broadcaster software again. To tell you the truth, I don't even know what this broadcast was about, and I'd have to go to the settings. Oh yeah, about Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Alex Jones and David Icke are all fake, down with fake truth and fake truth fighters. An article. I still have to copy the source. The taskbar is not working, everything's hanging. Mouse pointer disappeared. Okay. So it's very well possible they are controlled opposition and just used to push information that they cannot make people believe in another way. They have to make people believe that it's stuff they don't want you to know, that they leaked, etc. But in reality there may be lies as well, of course, that, if they are real hackers that have retrieved that information from these people might also be controlled by lies. For example, Iraq didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Bush admitted that himself on the video. Yet there are 1 million dead Iraqi people, depleted uranium in Iraq, and you have the tactical nukes going off in Syria. So in relation to these wars, we are universal peace television. I'd have to say that it's stupid to do these things, that it makes more terrorists. And then of course you can expect these attacks in Washington, and also the pedo elite. They might go after the people that are responsible instead of the innocent civilians. Perhaps they've learned from the Breivik attacks in Utøya. But if they don't have internet and don't have money, then they're not gonna be able to buy these stolen nukes, etc. But if they're Mossad, then they do have access to an EMP weapon and nuclear weapons. So if that two-state solution is accepted, then I might also get more viewers. I made videos about the two-state solution, World War, Skull and Bones, John Kerry, etc. The UN, Lucifer UN. The record company. Loses trust, produces the intelligence for the UN, former Lucifer Trust. So then, who do you trust? Hubba hubba. So these things I'm saying are usually things that other people have written and things they claim. You can Google it all. So if somebody else claimed it before me, then that might be the source that I got it from. So I'm not going to indicate that it's a theory with all the theories I have. Sometimes I'm really carried away with the subject, and then I can forget that. But I am a conspiracy factist, not a conspiracy theorist, which the controlled opposition people may label themselves as. So that if you quote them, they can say you quoted a conspiracy theorist, a self-admitted conspiracy theorist. So I advise all people that are more impartial, that are really trying to improve the timeline, to call themselves conspiracy factists and make clear they're not conspiracy theorists, because there is still a dogma. They are labeled as potential terrorists, etc. And so it's better to make clear what is fact and what is fiction or theory. Oladio, Oladie. So how about it, baby? Perhaps they make people scared of me with synthetic telepathy. They can induce emotions, so they can give people a bad feeling when they see me or when they hear about me. So I think most of my regular viewers on ORBC Hoffman and on YouTube, the channel ORBC Hoffman, most of my viewers are not brain controlled or less brain controlled if they're regular viewers. So they're trying to isolate them from me, to isolate the world from me, to depopulate the earth to 500 million. And I would claim it's done by the Jesuits, and almost no one else claims that except for controlled opposition. Eric John Phelps of Vatican Assassins, also a flat earther. So flat eartherism is one of the things that gives away controlled opposition. So they mix important truths with flat eartherism to make people think that it's also a lie. And they simply lie. They're down with the satanic inner core of the Jesuit military order posing as a religious order, if you ask me. And the accusation online that Prince Charles may be using blood transfusions to live longer may be true. Of course, you can't live longer that way. You can also get blood diseases and die from that. But basically, it's running in the family. You can look up royalty, and even the mainstream media exposed Britain's royalty, their cannibalism and blood bathing, etc. Vladdy Impaler. Yeah. So if you buy one of those globes, I've mentioned it in my previous broadcast as well, I'm just brainstorming and just talk about what pops up into my brain that can be controlled by them with synthetic telepathy, that can send ideas in your own inner voice, for immortality. But the idea is that globe, that is not the normal one. The ones you can buy on eBay usually are not spinning around, so you have to be careful that you buy one that spins around. That's cooler, if you ask me. So there is no connection to anything. It's Levitron magnets. So there's no moving parts, only the globe that is spinning. I also want to say that I feel extremely lethargic, tired, and I've covered the deliberate misdiagnosis of Dr. Kater of the AMC in my previous broadcasts. And I think launching a complaint on their website of the AMC hospital is not going to do much good, so perhaps there are lawyers, no cure, no pay lawyers out there or whatever. Or perhaps they've cut that off in the Netherlands somehow as well. An uncle of mine also had a sort of no cure, no pay law firm. Codex, it was called. Kees Verhagen. Very nice man. And I don't like he died at a very young age. But this is all theory. So family is also welcome, of course, and superstars are welcome. YouTubers with lots of views, even if they're male, they can always Skype to get a live broadcast, to ask me questions, to trash me, and to slam dunk me, or whatever they want to do. But I think they cannot prove me wrong, and they might use directed energy and brain control to keep people from my channel and not finding the video titles in the first place. They're not going to search on many of the subjects that I write about. They're not really after what is most important. They suffer from the normalcy bias, so they think if it never happened, it cannot happen, etc. And now I'm thinking about meteors. So you had that meteor crash in Russia recently, and in India a man died from a meteor crash. Even though NASA receives billions of our taxpayer dollars and euros, etc., they failed to predict these meteor impacts, and so I wonder what these NASA Masons are doing. Are they still gonna do the fake Mars thing again? And the flying saucers in Queen Maudland, you can even see their entrance on the Google Earth thing. They also have a mountain that opens up, Mount Weather, to planes. So they can let whole planes disappear in there with loads of kids and people, etc. Some people think that WTC attacks were fake, and the CGI video proves it, but the CGI doesn't prove that in reality. If it was a CGI. And they may have made that CGI to give people the illusion that it was fake, so that they can say, see, their psycho conspiracy theorists are claiming it was fake. Though these people are really dead and there were no Jewish people in the WTC. And it is proven beyond any reasonable doubt by Dr. Alex Jones that there were explosives in the building, okay? Thermate, a dependent form of thermite, analyzed by Dr. Jones, hired by your local government. And some people are still denying that because it is not congruent with their official story of the WTC demolition. And I wouldn't call it a job. Perhaps they should get a real job. But perhaps they can't get that. Perhaps their brain controls. So I think my non-contagious blood disease, which makes me 80% disabled according to the people, the government or whoever has tested me, And I think they're right about it, that that's caused by directed energy weapon attacks. So the government is the reason, the cause of my handicap in the first place. But okay, it's a non-contagious blood disease. I can make websites, I can make this broadcast. The clock is a bit in the way, 14:42, that's correct. It's about synced with my Casio G-Shock. Yeah. So I might eat something, then I'll put on the picture show, and then you can fast forward again to hear me talk. And you may be able to hear the healing birds here in Mijdrecht, the universal peace birds. I've also videoed some of them, I put it on my channel, which now contains more than 600 videos, I think. Perhaps make some music. See if that works. First find a nice sound that I could do something with. Turn off the mic.
Thank you, darling. Peace.com.
universalpeace.jimdo.com universalpeace.jimdo.com
A few moments later.
Keep busting.
Ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
Out here in the perimeter, there are no stars. Out here, we is stoned, immaculate.
It is all about being yourself and not caring what anybody else thinks.
That's pretty funny. The jungle horse. It's made with jungle horse. It's a thing then you can let your computer make messages with the voice of Donald Trump, made with samples of syllables, etc. It's pretty funny, but there's a better text-to-speech engine with the Donald Trump voice, and there will be a new one. I don't know if that will be free. So I thought it's pretty original. Yeah. Take another sip of tea. Good thoughts will come to me. So that was a more new age type thing. Oh yeah, we can do a proper propaganda thing. Go to display capture.
The government is criminal, okay? 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 The government is criminal. Universe companies now criminal. The government is 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 government is criminal. Okay, the 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 government
CDC
is criminal.
Marvel.
Don't let them touch you!
Very impactful and very active. They made 4 points. The first was that cases were increasing exponentially.
The government is criminal. The government is criminal. The government is criminal. The polls of 300 2000. The government is criminal. The government is criminal.
George Snowden and Mijdrecht are committed of 300 subversive of the criminal. John paid non-fiction. Real John paid non-fiction.
The government is criminal. 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 The government is criminal.
Universalpeace.jimdo.com.
Criminal. The government is criminal. The government is criminal.
Keep
The government
busting.
is criminal. The government is criminal. The government is criminal. The government is criminal.
Keep
The
busting.
government is criminal. The government is criminal. The government is criminal.
AWOL.
The government is criminal.
AWOL.
The government is criminal.
AWOL.
The government is criminal. 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 Okay. 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 The government is criminal. Criminal. Okay. The government is criminal.
Universal Peace.
So, of course, the government is infiltrated by Masons and Jesuits that were expelled from many countries like the Jewish people, and that's important to realize that not the whole government is criminal. There are also good people working there, and the government are people just like you and me, basically. You could even see it as a legal person or illegal person. And people can always choose not to recognize their so-called leaders as such. Without us, they have nothing, basically. They have no power. So that sounds pretty boring as well. I'd rather make love, have sex, you know, fuck some hot chick, and I don't like having to do this. So come on, single chicks, you have to let me massage you and give you free weed, etc. You must Just let me do it. For universal peace. Okay, so I think that for now I'm going to temporarily halt this live broadcast for universal peace, and you can always Skype me to be in the broadcast live or to have a conversation or make an appointment to have fun for universal peace. Stop screaming.